So the first question is a completely open-ended one. If you had the chance to have a beer or a glass of wine with any scientist and talk about anything you'd like, who would that be and what would you talk about?
Well, right now it would probably be Andrew Lees, not really a scientist. Andrew is, he's probably close to 80 now, but he's a neurologist at Queen Square, semi-retired in London. And he did a lot of the seminal work with Parkinson's disease back in the 70s and 80s. And some of the drugs that came out. And he was a bit of a maverick. And I just read his memoir. Well, I know about him because he wrote a 12-page review of my book in Brain. And I've never seen a book review of 12 pages.
12 pages, yeah. Wow.
I mean, this was a double-spaced a copy that I got of it. But it was absolutely closely read. And it picked me apart in places. So it wasn't, exactly laudatory. He disagreed with some of my conclusions, but I thought, God, this guy's really interesting. So I Googled him and found out a little bit about him, and I read his memoir, which is called "Mentored by a Madman," and it's about the madman is this. A guy from the early 60s who I never heard of and whose name I can't remember now, who had gone to medical school but never practiced and was into the drug scene and very much into discovering higher thinking through things from the jungle, and sort of anthropologist but also very much in the Timothy Leary style and that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. So I thought, how can this be? How can this guy be see anything in common with this, guy from the drug riddled 60s? And it's just fascinating because that thinking kind of went through his thinking as well. Mm-hmm. And he just sounds like one of the most interesting people I'd like to talk to.
Yeah, I would like to be a fly on the wall for that conversation myself.
One other quick warm up. What's the most beautiful place you've ever been?
Oh, Beacon Rock. Well, I don't
Instantaneous.
know.
That was in the book a few times, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that's my favorite place in the world. I've been to a lot of beautiful places, but that just really resonates with me. Every time I get there, it's just kind of tugs at my heartstrings. But oh boy, where else? I love hiking in the mountains around Portland, up at Mount Hood. It's all beautiful, and I love Alaska and icebergs and I love Africa. I mean, I love being to. I've gone many times to the foothills of Mount Kilimanjaro, where I've worked at a hospital there, and my best friend is a doctor there, and one of the most beautiful experiences in my life, recurrent experiences, is sitting on the veranda of his house there as the sun sets on Mount Kilimanjaro, drinking a beer. And that's a pretty beautiful thing.
It's a pretty amazing place. I spent a lot of time in Kenya over the past several years, and I've only seen Kilimanjaro from a far distance, but I've had the same kind of experience for Mount Kenya.
Yeah.
That's a pretty magical place for sure.